Welcome back. And with us now is Dr. Susie Warden. She is a doctor here in Wheaton.
Yeah.
But she lives in Glen Ellyn. And Susie has been part of the Glen Ellyn moms protest.
She has.
And it's been great because there's a handful of people out there that are standing on the sidewalk, just peacefully.
That's right.
Saying, you know what, we think parents should decide whether or not their children should be masked. They've been at it now for 7 weeks. They're going on their 7th week. I applaud these women. I didn't think that they could have the wherewithal to stand there, but they've been out there every single school day, just politely letting people know how they feel about this issue. So, Susie, it's been controversial to say the least. Isn't that true?
You know, who would have ever thought that it would have been so controversial to say that we want freedom?
I know. It's just bizarre.
It is.
It really is.
So what gets you involved in this? I mean, originally, and we've reported on this a number of times, and we are going to continue to report on it. We are going to continue to come out there once a week and let people know what's going on with your protest. But it was originally started by a grandmother who is also a retired teacher. But she was joined by you and a number of other people. So what brought you to that protest?
Right. Well, you know, it's kind of funny how things happen because you sit back and you see things happening and you know it's not right. In your head, you're like, why is this happening? And you see it and you discuss it and you see it more and they lift the mandate and then they say, no, the mandate's there with no research. Well, why are we doing this? And so when we went to a school board meeting, I met Janice and she says, we have to do more. And I said, I know. And so she says, let's do some peaceful protesting. And I thought in the back of my mind, like, okay, I've had a business here for 25 years. What is this going to do? And what I realized is if I don't do something, I'm staying in this comfort and this fear zone. And unless we stand up for freedom, we're going to get it taken away. So I said to her, let's do it, not knowing that we were really going to do it, but we decided to do it. And off we went. And you know that you're doing something right when people come unglued. And so that's what's given us
that's exactly
to continue
what's
to do
happened.
it. I mean, you know, if you're not creating anything, then you kind of go, oh, that's nice. But we created something that we didn't know we were going to create, which is exciting.
Yes, they absolutely did come undone. I mean, I think you got into, on one of our Facebook Lives, this pastor crosses the street, jaywalks across the street to start lecturing all of us on, safety and rule following. And you tried to, debate with him or take him on, but he just kept talking over you. But tell us about some of the other reactions that people have had to you standing out there.
Well, you have signs that say, freedom, we live in America, parents' choice, and
really radical stuff.
It's funny, the backlash we get and the people that come, like you said, jaywalking across the street in our face, thumbs down, middle fingers, and you just say, have a nice day, or, and they continue to go.
Okay, but Glen Ellyn's supposed to be full of a bunch of sophisticated people that are above this.
Mm-hmm. Well, right, and Glen Ellyn is for everyone. And so that's what I think, except when you don't agree or they don't agree with you or vice versa, which I don't know what they don't agree with. It's freedom. Like, what are we doing? And there's no reason. I keep going back to show me the research that there's peer-reviewed studies that show that these masks are good for children all day long. Like, who is looking at really what's going on? And my question is how can we continue to say that masks are great and then sit these children in school all day and then let them come to football games after school and sit on each other's laps and this and that? It doesn't make sense to me. And then people are calling us racists and they're calling us all sorts of names. Which makes me believe that, do you really know what's going on, or is this just what you say to people that want their freedom?
Well, that's what's actually very interesting, because it's not just what you see at a football game with a crowded stand of children right on top of each other. It's what you see from the elites, right? From the San Francisco mayor, who is just felt the spirit and needs to get up and dance without a mask on, when she's breaking her own rules, to Joe Biden, showing a mask when he's 6 feet apart, taking a press conference, and then gets up, no mask on, and glad hands Boris Johnson right there in front of everybody. So, I mean, it's just hypocrisy throughout on this masking
100%.
issue. And so
And
they don't have a leg to stand on, in my opinion.
I agree. And, just that whole thing, it's hypocrisy to the nth degree. We stand up for freedom and people are bashing us and calling us racist.
Well,
and I don't understand how it goes together.
And Susie, they have escalated this. I mean, the reactions to you started out as parents, thumbs downing you. Then they formed this wall of parents. Then they called in the media. And now they've got your state rep out there in Glen Ellyn, Tara Costa Howard, running a bill that says, at the state level, that says that you cannot display signs, engage in oral protest, education, or passing out leaflets or handbills within 300 feet of school premises from 1 hour from prior to the start of the school day till 1 hour after it ends. So the fact that you're not going away and they've taken it to this level, what's your... I think she's doing it to put something on a mail piece. What is your take on that?
I mean, it's funny. Like, okay, where did this come from? 2, 3, 4 women that say they want freedom to now we cannot have freedom. And by the way, you can't have it on the school grounds. You have to be so many feet away during the day. So what is this going to do when the teachers want to go out and protest? Oh, it may not work out.
Right.
But then you go, why is this happening? Well, you have the piece of, we have our school board president that is a self-proclaimed socialist Marxist who really wants to take control. And that's the bottom line. He did not get his way with the Glen Ellyn City Council and the police arresting us because it is our right. So then what does he do? He goes to the next level. So this is going to be very interesting to see how it works. And to me, I just smile because I feel like I'm so happy that I actually went out and did it, because there's so many people, so many of my friends have said, go, go, go.
Yeah.
But no one's willing to come out to do it. And I just feel, I don't know what's going to happen, but seeing the what's happened on the other side and seeing how they react and the length that they're going to stop us, you keep doing it because there's something more. And I keep saying, I'm so glad that we did this, because we would have never seen that had we not had the guts to get out there and say, you know what, we have to do something in our own little way, or we are going to get our freedom taken away from us.
Well, listen, just to tidy a few things up here, because I know that you're a busy working woman and you've got a busy practice there. And I want you to get back to things, but I did want to make a couple really salient points. So Tara Costa Howard was elected by the people in Glen Ellyn, and she wants to shut down your free speech. Now, Chris Miller, a state rep, one of her colleagues, had a very poignant post on this very thing. He said, he said, he was kind of clever. He said, listen up, children. Your parents have been jailed for protesting our school mask mandate, so you will be learning everything there is to know about sex from me. And he brings the two things together because Tara Costa Howard had voted for SB 818, which is comprehensive sex ed, starting in kindergarten. And, and that's fine with her. It's actually sexual grooming. It probably actually should deserve, a felony conviction if people are showing some of this material to children. And on the other hand, she wants to arrest your parents for simply protesting. That is what this bill is about. Her bill, HB 4151, would arrest your parents for protesting outside your school, peacefully protesting. Do people in Glen Ellyn not get it? Do you not understand what free speech is? She is also apparently a lawyer, I'm told. What does she not understand about our First Amendment rights, she's violating 3 in this way. 1, your right to petition your government. 2, your right to assemble. And 3, your right to free speech. All 3 of those are, included as separate tenets in the First Amendment, and she doesn't want to happen outside your schools.
Nope. And she's got her little president of our District 41 school board right in her ear and her pocket. And their agenda is more important than teaching our children reading and writing. And by the way, what's the percentage of the kids that are reading and writing at grade level? Maybe 4 out of 10, maybe roughly 50%. So we're really looking at, let's teach these
Parents should
children
be
our
protesting
agenda.
that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
Let's teach them our agenda and then let them slide with reading and math. And to me, it's horrible. And I was asleep while these people were getting into office, and I'm appalled at what happened when I was sleeping, running my business and running the kids. And I understand, because parents are busy. But if we don't get out and we say something, do something, educate a few more people, we're in big trouble around here.
Well, keep up the good work. We appreciate it. We appreciate tremendously. Thank you for coming on to our podcast, and we will talk with you soon and be back there to report this week at some point on how your progress is.
Thank you, Susie.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, you guys. Have a great day.
Absolutely.
Okay, you too.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay, so I wanted to continue on with this conversation just a little bit more, and bring in a couple other things. One, that Chris Miller, the reason he posted about Tara Costa Howard is because he actually had an opposite bill.
Chris Miller is a state rep out of Southern Illinois.
Yes,
Just
out of Oakton, Illinois.
Yeah.
Yes. And he filed earlier this summer HB 4145. And it allows the big tech to be fined up to $75,000 when they want to limit free speech. And this came out of School District 186. It's a school district in Springfield. And their school district meeting, a number of school districts use YouTube to post their school board meetings. So because it's an easy channel for everybody to watch. A lot of school districts use it. Well, YouTube took a particular school district meeting off of the channel simply because they didn't like the comments on COVID mitigation from
not quite. They have algorithms set to just when certain phrases or words come up, it automatically drops it. So that parents, whatever they said must have triggered one of the algorithm. So it's not that they're going through and deleting certain things.
Regardless, I mean, it's not a free channel at all. It is a channel that it provides for censorship. And if that happens, his bill, if it were to become law, would at least say in Illinois, you can't do that. So it's a really good bill, and it's a contrast to Tara Costa's bill, which wants to shut down free speech. Chris Miller would prefer to ensure free speech. I mean, and in the state of Illinois, you've got to worry about Tara Costa Howard's bill because they have passed other sort of egregious acts that limit your rights.
I just want to see how the teachers' unions are going to deal with that. No protesting within 300 feet of a school. Okay, well, what happens the next time CPS goes on strike? That's where they protest. I mean, so are you going to write something in that says, if you're rallying for something to have to do with vaccines or masks, or then you can't do it? Like, is it going to become a subject matter thing, or is it going to, I think it's not going anywhere. But this is a political show, and she's a joke, and Glen Ellyn and Lombard, really, you need to replace her.
Absolutely. In the same vein, there's other really terrible bills that were passed this legislative session, including that now at schools you have to offer a course on media literacy, and that will absolutely invite media bias being taught to our children. And so I just, I'm concerned about this whole thing because the media is very obviously they have a huge impact in all sorts of. I
want to see that curriculum. The media literacy curriculum.
And
then we should present an alternative curriculum.
Well, we already know that the journalism teacher at Wheaton South is woke. So I don't really trust her to teach media literacy.
It's a good point. But I mean, yes. So we should present, a curriculum that includes conservative or alternative outlets.
Absolutely. So, okay. Anyway, that's what's going on in Glen Ellyn. Tara Costa Howard wants to shut down your free speech, even as she is a lawyer and should know better. It's embarrassing. Okay. All right. Next segment coming up, we are going to discuss, John Bolton warns the Taliban may get nuclear weapons amid the Afghanistan withdrawal. That's a scary proposition. Yeah.